How's it going, guys? DJ Av here, and today we're going to be doing a review for Sample Magic Stacker, which is a drum synth module in which, like its name suggests, you can stack your drums. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot because, again, stacking drums is kind of an art to creating new drums, especially when you're talking about hip hop. So, with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and make a track here. I got drums. Think I messed up? Yeah, I did. Alright, got a kick. So let's talk about like some of the stuff that you get with it. Well, the main thing would make this attractive would be the amount of samples that you get, as in you get like 1,000 samples or whatever, or 1,000 presets more or less of drums. And I'm going through the preset menu to show you some stuff here. So you get a whole bunch of claps, effects, hi-hats, kicks, snare, stacks, snares, synth basses, subs, and toms, which is awesome. I think that's pretty good that they actually give you a lot of stuff to work with up top without it having to be a money-grubbing grind for you to do stuff. Now, there are other things about this that makes this quite intriguing as well, and I will have to go ahead and drop the melody a little bit so we go through some of the drums. So, you get access to this. As you see here, it's a multi-layered as well, as it has the six mixer tracks that you get to work with. Now, you can get access to each and every last one of these by going to this button right here and pressing on it, and which is color-coded nicely. One thing that I find that you'll find obscure in a lot of drum machines that you'll work with, especially ones where you get to create drums in such detail, is the fact that it has a mod matrix. That kind of blew me away that it, a drum synth will have a mod matrix. I don't think it's necessary, but it's good that it's there. But however, your first 3 tracks here are sampler channels, as the other 3, are things where you get to work with like stuff like that that's very uncommon, like impulse. Like you can actually, pull up a sample, and yes, I mean like something like any sample that you have, drop it in there, and it will act as such like a reverb. So convolution is within this plugin, which, man, I always talked about that. So that is a great thing about this plugin that I really do like. Though the things that I don't like about this plugin off top is the way that they have the filter section. Obviously this is resonance right here, but I do think that the resonance is very good. It sounds very, very good, and I will demonstrate that a little later, as well as doing a full drum synthesis video for this. But yeah, it sounds very good, but I don't like how the filters are displayed. I much rather prefer my filters to look like this, very common, like just knob parameters, not I don't faders. I'm not really a fan of fader parameter. And it throws me for a loop. It's very weird. One thing that I thought about that. So in here, so go. I ain't set it to be that cool. So yeah, go ahead and drop that melody back in there. So again, a lot of the samples or the presets are, they're for modern day music, a lot of modern day electronic music. But one thing that I have to bring to the attention of everybody, and that a lot of drum companies do not do, is this area right here, which is scatter. And scatter is something, for those who don't know about, drum synthesis or just like drum science, there's plenty of producers out there that put like a swing on their drums and to where certain parts of their drums hit differently. And if I was to pull this particular parameter, which is color coded to the second mixer track, you'll hear that the sample is re-triggering it's triggering at a certain area, in which you can dictate it by time or BPM and in ranges of milliseconds and different kinds of milliseconds. And then you can beef up the grid as well, and if you want to, reset it. And that's how it sounds like it's reset. Well, of course, that's not even used. Cool. But with like any VST is not without its faults. Once again, I did say that I did not like the filter, how the filter section was displayed, and then there's other things that are kind of strange and awkward as well, and which is some of the effects. I'm not too married to the effects. However, I think that obviously, if you look at the CPU usage and that fact that I have Electra X minus out, is that it does take up a lot of CPU, but that's not a negative thing in that nature, because I feel that if you're going to create drums, you should bounce them down to like wave files such as these over here. But my thing was, as far as like the effects section, is being able to rearrange your effects, which do take an do have an added effect of how you are creating your drums and stuff like that. Obviously, if you have like the digitized area, which is bit crush, at the end of the effects chain, it would sound much different than it would be right here. They took a non-risky way of going at it, which is fine, but I think at the price tag, which I think the price tag is pretty beefy at $80, it should at least have that. We're talking drum synthesis here, and that's I think for $80 that they want, that should be a thing that they should do. The other thing that I really wish that this plugin had, or this program in general, is that it had a standalone version. And within both versions, regardless of it having standalone or not, it should have an export feature. The export feature is very important to that, to such a program where you can create drums at such a detail. Now, with that being said, I do like the fact that within these other areas right here, that you can do certain things, like you have your synth and noise, which is very important when you want to make a drum. Now, to the extent that you will do it or would do it, in which I probably might not focus clearly on this, but the fact that you can do that is awesome. And the fact that you can affect pitch as well. Like you get, no, it's double left clicking, and you get to work with that. And of course you can adjust the amp. And I'm just doing stuff off the top, pretty much freestyling everything right now. And just playing around with some features. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But again, you know, the mod matrix being there, I think that's cool. I mean, it's not needed for such, like, it's not as needed as something like export, which would really make this plugin awesome if they added export in within a feature and within future updates. So I really do hope for that. You know, so that's one of the cons. That's a few of the cons that I didn't like about this. But other than that, this plugin itself is pretty damn good. As I play with it, I'm having much fun with this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So what do I rate this? You know, give or take. Again, the pros being that, you know, it's a drum synth, and you know, you're able to stack and scatter your drums. It has a mod matrix. You can assign micros. You know, you can have an amplitude, you have your pitch, which is some certain things where you can automate it within the plugin, which I don't know too many drum synthesis or many soft synths in general that you're able to do that within the plugin. Sadly enough, you know, the effects are pretty decent. You know, I find them to be well. I like the filters. I just don't like the knobs, which are one of the cons. The fact that it does not have exporting and it doesn't have a standalone version, and the fact that it's $80 and it's missing this stuff, and they don't have a demo for people to try it. Those are things that I don't like about this plugin in general. So what am I going to rate this? And you know, we're gonna call up Birdman. Birdman, show yourself, man. I appreciate you visiting us. I'm gonna give it a light 3 out of 5. There's a lot of improvement that this plugin needs, and you know, it's still good. It's still worth a try if you really want to get the edge on your competition and you want really new drums. And also, in short, I want to bring this up before I leave. You can drag and drop whatever sample you want, and I'm gonna do it on something else. I actually like this snare so far. You can drag and drop your drums in there, and you can set how you want to start and end, and key tracking if you wanted to go up and down each and every key individually within the notation of music. But anyways, I'm DJ McCree. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Have a nice day.